Hey guys, dead end.
Open sesame.
Way to represent, Merritt.
Now You See Me 3, I think was announced like a decade ago. So can you talk to me a little bit about the stops and starts and what it feels like to finally be at this starting line / finish line for the third one?
Yeah, I don't think I personally have a lot of info about the stop for 10 years, but I love this franchise. I'm glad that even though it took a while that we are back. And, you know, it took some time for us to find our newbies. We needed them to come of age. And so now we got the perfect newbies in Dominic Sessa, Ariana Greenblatt, and Justice Smith. And it's amazing because I've known the core cast for nearly 15 years now, and it truly felt like no time passed at all when we all reunited. I love them. We just have so much genuine affection for each other, and I think that really shows on screen, and I think it's part of the reason why people like going to these movies is you get to see us like just joking around and having a good time, and it's not fake in any way. So yeah, I hope to come back and keep doing these movies with this cast forever.
You kind of answered this, but what is it about this franchise that you think has, you know, the staying power and like brings people to?
Yeah, I mean, I think part of it is that magic is this universal thing that everyone loves. I have 6-year-olds to 80-year-olds coming up to me and telling me how much they love the franchise. And these movies, they just are a good time. They're fun, they're entertaining. If you sit back and let it just kind of like take it for what it is, it's one of the best times you'll have at the movies.
Jesse told me he gets asked about this franchise more than any movie he's ever been in.
I concur. Truly, more than anything I've ever done.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
What is it like stepping back into the character of Jack, and did anything surprise you about him this time around, where we meet him?
We meet him at a low point. He is kind of sold out a bit and has become a corporate magician. So he's kind of going away from like his kind of street roots and like kind of the more cool magic. Not that there's anything against corporate magicians, you know, we all gotta do our thing, we all gotta whatever. But it just goes against kind of his core values. And so that manifests itself in even the way he looks. He's a little more buttoned up, like I am right now in this interview. And over the course of the film, he kind of slowly starts to get his mojo back. And so that's kind of a fun journey for me to take.
Do you think you could pickpocket somebody?
Honestly, pickpocketing, I could, but that's not my best skill.
What is your best skill?
Throwing cards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wish I had some.
I could throw some cards if you had some. But yeah, this is something that I learned on the first movie. It was me in my apartment in New Orleans just throwing cards against the wall until my arm went dead, but I got really good to the point where I can now cut a banana in half with a card.
What?
Yeah, I could very much injure you from this distance. I could do some serious damage.
Okay.
But yeah, card throwing.
I didn't expect to get threatened via card.
Sure.
No, that's cool. That's cool. Now, the first two films had their distinct styles, and this one's with Ruben Fleischer. So tell me about his vision and kind of just how the directorial style is a little bit different.
Yeah, Ruben comes from a comedy background, and so he really wanted everyone to lean into the levity and the fun and the comedy whenever possible. Obviously, there's certain moments in the film where you want it to be more dramatic and have the stakes be really serious, but he's just one of those guys, he's like, if we can make this moment funny, let's do it. And so I think that's what kind of gives this movie a little bit of a different flavor. Not that the other films aren't funny. And then Ruben, he knows how to create spectacle, and so the set pieces in this movie are very creative. For example, there's a fight scene in a rotating room.
Yes!
There's another fight scene in an Ames room, which is one of those rooms where like it messes with your perspective. You look in one corner and someone looks like they're this big, and then the other corner of the room, they look like they're a giant. And so you can imagine a fight scene in that room where people are going from big to small and small to big. It's like, it's very fun, and you can only do that in this franchise.
Yeah, what was the rotating fight scene like for you, that scene? Because
I was not in that scene, but I was very jealous that I wasn't. That said, they did, you can imagine with a rotating room, people get a little banged up, and so maybe for the best that I wasn't in it, but it looks amazing.
Oh my God, yeah. So how would you describe Jack's dynamic with the Horsemen when we pick up, and their dynamic with the newcomers? His dynamic with the newcomers?
Yeah, so all of the original Horsemen are kind of at odds at the beginning of the story. We haven't seen each other in a long time. So there's a lot of bickering, a lot of finger pointing of why we broke up. But over the course of the movie, Jack is the guy who is extremely loyal, and he will literally do anything for his friends. These are more than his friends, these are his family at this point. And so he's like the gung-ho guy who's like, I don't care what kind of danger I'm gonna go get into. I'm gonna do this for you guys, I'm gonna do this for the greater good, and so he's just got that positive energy.
One of my favorite things about these movies too is always the opening scene, because it's such a spectacle.
Sure.
And this one is awesome.
Yeah. Are you talking about the hologram scene?
Yes.
Okay, yes. Yeah, it's cool to kind of start the movie off with these holograms of like how we looked 10, 15 years ago. And fun to be a hologram. I don't know.
That's why I think Jesse was like, it's kind of weird to film because it kind of had to be like 2D-ish. Like.
Right. But a good time.
Now, how would you describe your chemistry with the new Horsemen, and just kind of talk a little bit about who they are, how they come in?
I love the new Horsemen. They are all genuinely like great actors, and they came into this situation where the rest of us have known each other for so long, but from day one, they just seamlessly integrated, and they are now family to me. And it was just cool to kind of have a slightly different energy, but at the same time, again, they were kind of the same but different. But it's nice to have the generational difference there too.
Yeah, absolutely. Now the film obviously delivers amazing illusions. They always do. Were there any practical tricks that just surprised you on set that you were like, wow?
I feel like Jesse and Dom got to do a lot of kind of hand dexterity stuff, which were practically done, no VFX, and that was them just kind of spending months learning how to like pass cards between their fingers in a way that it made them look like some of the greatest magicians on earth. And I just have a lot of respect for those moves that may not even look like the most impressive thing, but you know, having gone through it myself, it's like, oh, no, you need to put in the hours to make this look effortless.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think the Horsemen have been to the Magic Castle together?
I know some of us have.
Like the characters?
Oh. Sure. Yeah. The Magic Castle.
Like, do you think they're like rivals, or?
With who? With
like the eye.
Oh, you're saying is the Magic Castle rivals with the eye?
Yeah.
No, we're all in it together in some capacity. I feel like the Magic Castle is this iconic magic place for some of the best magicians on Earth, and of course the Horsemen have made their way through it at some point.
I love that place. Now You See Me 4 is already in development, supposedly, and this film obviously teases the future of the eye. What can you tell us about where you would like things to go next, or what would you like to see?
Oh man, I want to see like one of the core characters become the villain, and I want to just see what that dynamic's like. I want to see maybe certain characters from the first two movies that we don't see in the third one. I want to see them come back in. What else? I want to see Jack learn even new ways to throw cards.
Like, I just want to learn some more tricks.
Sure. Yeah.
What is across the whole franchise, what is your favorite scene or moment that you've gotten to do?
The scene that comes up probably more than any other is in the second movie. We do this long sequence where we're in this like sterile white room and we're passing this card to each other and trying to keep it away from these guards. And we spent an entire week shooting this scene, and there's a lot of moments in it that are practically done. Like I'm kind of like flipping a card, like kind of, again, through my fingers, around my head, like sliding it down my arm and catching it in my little nook right here. And that was something that I spent months practicing. But then, of course, there are moments in it that are VFX where I cannot throw a card behind my back 20 yards to Jesse Eisenberg. But that's one where we put a lot of work into it. and it paid off, and people talk about it often.
You said that scene comes up the most, but we were talking about how most people mention this franchise more than anything else you've done. What do people say? Is it that scene, or is there like a quote they say to you, or what do they ask you?
I was just on set the other day with a co-star who had never seen the movies until we were shooting together, and out of nowhere, in the middle of a scene, he kind of looks over, he goes, I was trying to get in that door, but it was locked. And I was like, no. I gave it to him and I was like, nothing's ever locked. So that's a line that comes up a lot. That might be like one of the first lines I say in the first film. I don't know why that's such a thing that comes up, but it does. Yeah, let's leave it at that.
Okay.
Yeah.
What do you think it is about Now You See Me that makes it sets it apart from other heist or action franchises?
Because it's magicians pulling off heists.
Yeah.
It's a concept that shouldn't work, but it's so inherently fun and entertaining. And again, people just love magic and they want to be tricked. They want people to pull the rug over their heads and be like, oh my God, how did you do that? And to combine that with a heist film, it's genius, and it could have gone very wrong in the wrong hands, but I'm happy that we are where we are, and hopefully we get to keep doing this forever.
I was talking to somebody the other day, and they were asking me my thoughts on the film, and I was like, I would watch 101 of these movies.
There we go. Why? I'm curious why.
Genuinely, it's like, I think it's something different, the blend of the magic and the heist stuff, and also I will watch like pretty much any heist movie because they're so fun to be
Definitely.
like, and I think it's also fun to be like, you're trying to figure out along the way if you're in on the trick or not.
Sure.
And I think that's one of the fun elements.
Exactly. There's a mystery element. It's a guessing game. And with each movie, this is going to sound cheesy, but like the movie itself is a magic trick. And so with each one, there is kind of like a big reveal by the end.
Yeah. And sometimes you're like, okay, I'm with them. And then they're like, no.
Exactly.
Here's how we really did it. And
Totally.
I'm like, oh, shit.
Yeah.
And then I want to watch it again.
So you can kind of see all the little seeds that we drop along the way.
Exactly,
Yeah.
all the Easter eggs.
Yes.
If you could pull off one impossible illusion in real life, which one would it be?
Is there, oh gosh, I guess like eating donuts every day and not getting bigger. Me and my wife have a tradition where we, Sundays, donuts in bed, watch movies all day, and I think that's like the right balance, where you're not doing it every day, but donuts are good, and donuts every day sounds pretty good too.
Yes, my partner and I do pizza Sundays.
It's the secret to life.
Right,
Yes.
I love it. We gotta get her in this franchise.
Agreed. Speak it out into existence.
Yeah. I'm so glad to see Isla back as well.
Me too.
Yeah.
We all love Isla. Isla might be the funniest person I've ever met, and she brings her own kind of brand of humor and her own specific energy to these films that you just can't replicate, and it's just amazing to have her back.
It's really hard not to quote Wedding Crashers at her.
Of course.
Well, thank you so much for your time. I really
you.
appreciate this
Thank you.
conversation. This was
Awesome.
awesome.
Jack? What are you doing here? Saving your ass.